Hello, back again on the Top Recap channel. This time I will tell a movie's entitled The Guest. Let's get straight into the storyline. The story begins by showing a family where the father, Spencer, is going to work, and his youngest son, Luke, is also going to school. After they left, his mother, Laura Peterson, was looking at a photo of her late son, Caleb. It is known that Caleb was a soldier who died while on duty in Afghanistan. Shortly after that, the doorbell rang. Laura then opened the door, which turned out to be a man named David. He claimed to be a close friend of Caleb while in the military. Hearing this, Laura invited David into her house. After that they talked, and Laura asked the purpose of David's visit to her house. David then told her that before Caleb died on a mission in Afghanistan, Caleb specifically asked David to meet his family and tell them that Caleb loved them very much. After that, David was about to say goodbye, but Laura, who wanted to hear more about her son from David, then asked David to stay at her house. David finally complied with Laura's request. David also showed us his picture that was displayed in Laura's house with Caleb and the other soldiers. We will also be shown the second child of the Peterson family named Anna, who works in a restaurant. She gets acquainted with David, and then she goes to work. The scene moves to school, where we see Luke not having many friends and looking nerdy. He is also seen getting bullied by a gang at school.
Hey, little baby, don't cry.
He also looks embarrassed because his mother always picks him up after school. Arriving at home, Luke got acquainted with David. David asks about the bruise on Luke's face, but Luke hides it by saying that the wound is from playing football during gym class. Spencer and Laura are then seen arguing about David's arrival. Spencer is worried that David's escaping from the military and coming here with mental health issues could endanger his family. But because Laura kept insisting, Spencer finally accepted David into his home. After work, Anna didn't go straight home. Instead, she hung out with her boyfriend, Zeke. Anna talks about David, but she doesn't really care about David's arrival. Spencer, meanwhile, talks about his complicated work at the office. David said that tomorrow he would go to look for a job. Spencer, who was sorry, then told David to stay with him until he found a suitable job. The next day, when Luke was about to go home, he was shocked because David had picked him up. David then asked who the person was who had hit Luke yesterday. Luke still tried to hide it, but in the end, Luke said that a gang at his school had hit him. After hearing that, David did not go home immediately, and instead followed the gang, who often bullied Luke. The gang then entered a bar. David then invited Luke to enter the bar too, but Luke refused. But not long after David entered the bar, Luke followed him. After that, David ordered the most extreme drink in the bar for himself and the gang. Because he felt offended, Mike, one of the gang, approached David and poured the drink into David's face. At that moment, David beat them all up. Luke was hit by one of the gang. When they got home, Laura was surprised to see Luke injured, but David said that Luke was just defending himself from the people who often bullied him. Laura felt calm because Luke would definitely be protected by David, who was there. Not long after, Anna invited David to a party because of her mother's insistence. When Anna was about to take a shower, David suddenly came out of the bathroom, which immediately made Anna feel admiration for David. Later that evening, Anna and David went to a party. There, David met Anna's friend named Kristen. Kristen asked David to lift 2 beverage drums into her house. Everyone was surprised and amazed that David seemed to lift the 2 drums so easily. David then talked with Kristen until Kristen's ex-boyfriend came and was rude to Kristen. David, who did not accept seeing that, immediately hit Kristen's ex-boyfriend's head against the wall until he fainted. Kristen immediately felt admiration for David and invited him to the room. After finishing, David talked to one of Anna's friends, Craig. Craig, who looks naughty and an addict, makes David immediately ask Craig to find a gun because David said that he was a soldier who was very familiar with a weapon. Not long after, Anna and her boyfriend were seen arguing. Because she was upset, Anna immediately invited David to go home. After arriving home, Anna seemed to like David, while David was just silent and had a suspicious expression. The next day, Anna heard David on the phone with someone and talking about something mysterious. This makes Anna suspicious of David, as he is really a good soldier. The curious Anna then contacted the military base to find out about David. When checked, it turns out that David's data cannot be checked at the base, and for further information, you must contact the KPG. The KPG then provided information that the real David had actually died 1 week ago due to an explosion. KPG also informed his superior, Richard, that someone named Anna Peterson had asked for data about David. After hearing this, Richards asked his assistant to order a ticket to Anna's house at that time. The scene moves to David, who is meeting Craig to buy weapons from one of Craig's friends. After his friend showed him all the weapons, David said he would bring all the guns. This made them happy because all the weapons were sold. But David said that he would bring all the weapons by killing them both. Meanwhile, Anna gets news from the military base that the real David was killed a week ago. Hearing that, Anna immediately told her mother, but not long after that, her father came and said that her boss had disappeared a few days ago, and now her father would take his place. David suddenly arrives. Spencer immediately invites David to drink and ignores Anna. Not long after, Anna's cell phone rings, and it turns out that it has been a call from her boyfriend. Zeke says that Craig has been found murdered, and the police suspect him now. Anna then goes to see Kristen, and they mourn Craig's death. The scene switches to David giving the knife he always carries to Luke in case his school gang still bullies him. Anna suddenly came and took David's cell phone when David was off guard to find information about David. Anna then copies the last call on David's cell phone. Not long after, Zeke called Anna and said that he was accused by the police of killing Craig because the gun used to kill Craig was in his car. Anna then told her parents that Craig had been found dead and Zeke had been accused of killing Craig. Her father then said that Zeke deserved to be in jail because Zeke was a delinquent and a drug dealer. Anna is not happy with her father's words and says that the real David is dead and the David in her house is now fake. David is evasive and says that his identity is a state intelligence secret. David also showed identification that made Anna's parents believe David. An upset Anna went straight to her room. David then met Anna and said that he was sorry about Zeke's arrest. He also said that he would only stay there a few more days because he would soon leave the house. The scene switches to Richard going to Anna's address to catch the fake David. As Anna was driving Luke to school, Anna asked Luke to find out about David, because Anna suspected that it was David who had killed Craig and accused Zeke of being the culprit. Upon arrival at school, Luke immediately finds out about David using his laptop. But his friend kept bothering Luke until Luke got upset and then beat up the friend who bothered him. Luke's parents were called to the school. Laura came to school with David. It turned out that David was very proud of Luke for having the courage to fight the friend who was bothering him. Because of this incident, the principal will expel Luke from school, but David said he would sue the school for being incompetent in supervising the students. The principal, who felt threatened, finally did not expel Luke and only gave ordinary punishment. After that, Luke invited David to talk together. Luke said that Anna suspected that David was the one who had killed Craig and killed his father's boss so that his father could be promoted. But Luke promised David that he would not tell anyone about it. The scene moves when David and Laura are drying clothes. Richard suddenly arrived with several members of the special forces. Then there was a shootout. David was seen successfully killing all of Richard's troops. Laura then asked David what really happened. David, who couldn't explain, immediately stabbed Laura with a knife to death. Richard then entered the house to hunt David, but it turned out that David managed to escape using a car. David also shot the tires of Richard's car so that Richard had difficulty chasing David. On the way, David saw Spencer's car. David then deliberately hit Spencer's car and then killed him. David then chose to leave his car and decided to walk. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Richard goes to see Anna and then takes Anna away to avoid the psychopath. After Anna left, David suddenly came looking for Anna, but David only met Kristen there. David then asked Kristen, but Kristen seemed to deliberately hide Anna's departure. Because he was upset, David then killed Kristen and blew up the restaurant. Meanwhile, in the car, Richard tells Anna that David is a human experiment belonging to the government. David killed all the scientists and medics, and then he escaped to this day. Richard also said that Anna's parents had been killed by David. David has been programmed to kill everyone who knows his identity, so they will immediately pick up Luke, who is in a labyrinth building for the upcoming Halloween event. After arriving, they immediately look for Luke. Richard and Anna had trouble finding Luke because the building was designed for the Halloween event. Finally, they managed to find Luke, but suddenly the lights went out, and there was a song that made Richard realize that it was David. They rushed away with directions from Luke's teacher so as not to get lost, but suddenly, Luke's teacher was dying with a knife in his stomach. Richard tried to find David, but because David was faster than Richard, David finally killed Richard. Now David is trying to find Anna and Luke. At first, Luke doesn't believe that David will kill them both, but Anna said that her parents had been killed by David. Hearing that, Luke finally believed and chose to hide while Anna went for help. When David was a little closer to finding Luke's hiding place, Anna managed to distract him by making a sound. Long story short, Anna managed to get the opportunity to shoot David. However, it turned out that David was not dead and managed to stab Anna's leg with a knife. David then strangled Anna. In this critical situation, Luke suddenly came and immediately stabbed David from behind. Luke stabbed the knife again into David's stomach. Not long after, the police and medics arrived at the scene. 2 officers were talking and said that they only found 2 bodies in the building, which means that David managed to escape. And the movie is over. Don't forget to click subscribe, like and comment.